Welcome to the studios of Paul's Learning Hub, Paul Studios. And again, we'll bring you another session in Vivid Voices. You know, in previous sessions, you just have me talk to one personality. But here am I sandwiched between two very heavy men. Don't talk about weight. I'm talking about what they do and what they represent. And they'll be speaking for a very important organization in Nigeria today called Nira. I'll just leave it as Nira. They would say the full meaning of that acronym. But for today, let me just, at this time, welcome you and welcome this gentleman to the studio. I have on my left Mr. Adeshola Akisoya. Mr. Adeshola Akisoya, welcome.
Thank you, sir.
And on my left, I have Mr. Habib Wahab.
Thank you.
You're welcome indeed. Mr. Akisoya is the president of Nira, and Mr. Wahab is the acting COO and the head of technical affairs services in Nira. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you, sir.
So who do I turn to? First, the president to let us know exactly what Nira is, what you do, and having you in the studio today.
Okay. Thank you very much, and nice to be here.
Welcome.
And, love these settings. NIRA, as the acronym says, full meaning Nigeria Internet Registration Association. So that's the full meaning of NIRA, and established 2005. By the way, will be 20 years this year.
It's amazing how time flies.
And NIRA is a stakeholder-led organization, non-for-profit, and self-regulating. And we're the managers of the .ng CCTLD .ng country code top level domain. So simply put it, the .ng is our Nigerian identity online. So NIRA is responsible for managing that national resource. So any domain names that you see online that carries that .ng, so you should think of NIRA. That is what we do, and we operate the 3R models. That's what we call the 3R.
Right.
We have the registry. The registry itself is NIRA.
Right.
And we have the registrars. Those are the go-betweens that equally connect directly to NIRA. And you have the registrants. Those are the populists. Anybody that wants to identify with Nigeria, with .ng, the registrants. So the registrants go directly to the registrars, and the registrars connect to the registry.
For those who are listening to us, Mr. Kinson, they will just talk about these chains and all these connections and all.
Yeah.
Simply put, you get all you get from the website, from the internet and all that, because some people are making sure that they organize how these things flow. And they have the registrars who they manage to make sure they deliver these services to you, basically. And it may sound that way, but I know so much that happens at the background. And that's why you talk about the technicalities and so on. I have a little bit of a connection and understanding of the history of NIRA, but is it really difficult, Mr. Wahab, to get the technicalities going on? Maybe just to know a little bit more about what you do for those who may want to peer into the technicalities of it.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. Just to buttress what President talked about regarding what we do.
Yes.
He talked about registry, registrar, registrant. So registry is the CCTLD part of what we do, and the CCTLD we are talking about here is the .ng. So .ng is the domain, is the country code domain for Nigeria. It's the national resources. So what that means is that we are talking about DNS. So what that means is that anytime people want to talk to internet,
yes,
okay, so they do so using the the domain.ng. So in the back end, what happened in the back end is that if somebody goes to a browser and you type something.com.ng,
right.
So the name gets to registry, gets to Nira for resolution. We do so we are more or less like the phone book of internet.
Right.
So what that means is that anytime we go to internet, there's always an IP address, a long IP address bind to every domain name. A very good example is, let's say, nida.gov.ng. So computer doesn't understand nida.gov.ng. So computer understand the IP address.
Right.
And for computer to actually get the IP address, they need to talk to the registry to get the IP address.
Yes.
So users who use their browser to go to internet don't have to remember these public IP addresses. So they need to fetch the IP address from our registry. We translate the domain to IP address for our users to use on the time.
So I'll let you talk like this because I don't want to give headache to anybody who is out there. But you need to really know what people are doing to make you enjoy the things you do. It's a lot more challenging when you look at how people will need to guide all the different information going on, making sure Nigeria has its own respect, as it were, and not hooking up to some other platforms or other nations and so on. And people manage that. Managing the names of your different domains and then bringing them under the IPs, as you're saying. That wouldn't want. Let's leave that. And thank you for taking our Panadol for us. Because we would have had headache.
Yes,
but let me tell you, apart from all these technical things, how is Nigeria doing in the technical issues around the world right now? Let's look at that.
Well, how is Nigeria doing? Yes. Now, each countries in this DNS, the domain name system, has their two-letter character. So the one that pertains to Nigeria is .ng. And within Africa, don't let us start going around the world. Yeah. So within Africa, we were ranked number 2.
Really? Which is number 1? I like to know.
is our brother from the south.
South Africa?
Yes.
I will guess correct.
So the latest DNS study that was done in 2023 actually gave that statistics, and we ranked second.
Really?
Yes, we ranked second within Africa. An improvement from the last study that was done in I think that was 2020 or 2021. So where I think we were ranking around between 5th and 7th. So we have equally come up, but we can actually do more.
Yes,
we can do more. So it's an advocacy where we are preaching to the populace that get on board. Let's identify yourself online with .ng. So there's a lot of benefits that's equally attached to that. So one is, I'll just give a sample here. Why do you think the likes of google.com, any country they go, you see google.com.ng.
Yes.
We have, if they go to Ghana, it's .gh. If they go to South Africa, it's .za. Why do you think they identify locally with anywhere they go? So that's a good sample to give you that. Say you need to identify with the .ng brand.
Okay. Let me just bring it in again. Nigeria has a population of 220 million thereabout.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. South Africa, I think, is about 67 million now, thereabout. And if you're having South Africa be first, with the big population of Nigeria we're talking about, it means that there's still a greater potential, a possibility for Nigeria to go into.
Yes.
And every time you come to where you are right now, that we call the Pulse Learning Hub, we keep talking about what we do with young people. About 75% of these 220 million people we're talking about can easily go into the youth bracket. Are you seeing the signals, the dots moving about what the youths can really do at this time using the internet? From that point, that vantage point that you're seeing things.
Yes, actually, for Nira as an organization, we have two special purpose vehicle (SPV). So there's one of the Indukwe Kalu Foundation, and the second one is the .ng Academy.
Okay.
So the Indukwe Kalu Foundation actually focuses on child online protection.
Okay.
And where we equally catch them young, and we are doing so much advocacy to protect our younger ones. It's a digital world out there, so, and you need to be safe.
You have to.
So just to make sure that as people are going online, the young ones are going online, whatever they are doing is you are making sure that security, that level of awareness is actually given. So we are trying to equally catch them that young,
right,
and make sure that the right knowledge is actually given. And also for the .ng Academy, that is where capacity building comes in.
Sure.
So it's all about this digital world. Things, the rate at which technology is moving is at the light of speed. In fact, if anything, is more than light of speed. So we are equally using that to equally train and retrain people on the technology. So we're actually going to schools, doing advocacy, and equally out the youth. So we had a program last year, Tech Convergence 1.0, and I can tell you for a fact that we have so many youths, we have so many universities, and everybody coming on board to equally learn about tech convergence, where everything around technology converges.
Mr. Kiswe, Mr. Wahab, you make us feel excited that things are happening that can make us be on soft landing here. We deal with youth a lot. We wonder what would have happened if, when we want to communicate, we really cannot reach out because we have domain problems. So it means that relationship, that interaction would go on. There are so many other things perhaps we want to say in discussions about the history, the trajectory of Nira itself. Yeah. But to meet the operators, to meet people who are telling us that great things can continue to happen between us and Pulse Learning Hub and Nira, we're glad to have you here today.
Thank you.
And we're trusting that it will not be in fact, it's just like the beginning of a contact, a relationship with which you can explore possibilities. Let me ask you, when are you coming back again? When do we see you here?
Maybe next time when we're around, definitely.
You know that there's an extension,
yeah.
Maybe people who are out there may want to know. Pulse Learning Hub, one of the key, in fact, the real backbone here is Mrs. Ibukun Odushote. And if you talk about Nira, if you talk about the domain and so on, I remember one of my friends in Africa is in Kenya, is called Dr. Shem Oshodwo. Every time he talks about Mrs. Odushote, he says, that is Mama NG domain in Africa, in Nigeria. And I know what she's talking about, what he's talking about. She has been very much instrumental to making this happen. And she's right here in the Pulse Learning Hub.
Yes.
We are connected, and we love to see you come around again.
Thank
and let the connection keep going on.
Thank you.
It's good to have you out there today, and keep moving as we do in the Vivid Voices. We want to bring to you personalities that affect our lives, that make us see the reason to do the things we're doing more properly. And we're excited to have Mr. Akinsoya and Mr. Wahab today. God bless you. Thank you so very much. Please come in again.
Thank you very much, sir.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.